Welcome to the Break the Stigma podcast, where each episode we focus on raising awareness and debunking the negative stigma behind mental health.
Hey guys, I'm Angel.
I'm Kianah.
And this is the Breaking the Stigma podcast. So, today
we will be talking about maladaptive coping skills and ways to overcome them.
Yeah. You owe me a soda.
Oh, rats.
So we both are very experienced in maladaptive coping mechanisms.
I know. If I could graduate college with
a degree.
Yeah, that would be
in ways to self-destruct. I would be great at it.
Yes.
But we're here to tell you how to not do that.
Yeah, because being great at it makes your life way harder than it needs to be.
I also, before we start, wanted to quick promo for those that aren't watching on YouTube. I am wearing our new Break the Stigma podcast t-shirt.
Yes.
And Kianah is wearing the classic logo from Sweet and Sour Miracles.
Yes.
You can purchase both of these on sweetandsourmiracles.com.
Yes. It's a lovely website.
Thank you very much. I created it myself.
Aw.
Yeah. I actually got tired of the free themes that came with it, so I was stupid and spent money on a theme. But I like how it came out, so it was worth it in my opinion.
Yeah, so we're gonna rephrase that, and Angel's not gonna use like self-deprecating comments.
So I did it because I deserved it.
Yes, and you liked how it turned out.
Yes, I do.
I'm proud of you.
See, that's the first step in,
I guess, overcoming like those maladaptive issues.
Yeah, because like negative self-talk is one of the maladaptive ways of thinking, like talking negatively and talking down on yourself. So did you learn in DBT about the like don't should all over yourself, like I should?
Oh yeah, like those like cognitive distortion.
Yeah, cognitive distortions. That's what I was trying to get at. I
Yeah.
forgot the word.
Oh yeah, PHP. We learned about it like maybe 2 weeks in a row.
Oh, good. So you should be familiar.
Yes.
Go ahead and explain what cognitive distortions are.
It's just a way of thinking. I don't want to say right and wrong, but it's kind of like a way of thinking that puts you always in the negative. I don't remember like all of them on the top of my head, but there's like black and white thinking or all or nothing thinking. Either it's like good or it's bad.
And
there's no gray area.
There's catastrophizing.
Oh yeah,
that's one of them.
The worst.
Yeah, I tend to do that a lot. Like if something bad happens, it's like the end of the world for me.
Yeah.
And then the black and white thinking we talked about last episode actually. So
yeah. Oh
it's
yeah.
all linking together.
Look at that. Because like I feel like it's hard to not have like any sort of like cognitive distortion when you're dealing with like mental illness. For me, depression, eating disorders, they're like big in like in my world.
What do you think is the one cognitive distortion that you suffer with the most?
Crap, we did this exercise like the other day, and I cannot remember like my main one, but shoulds is definitely a big one because I always feel like I should do this, I should be a good person, I should hold back my feelings so I can make other people okay.
Yeah, and there's like a saying that they say in PHP, well, I guess not just in PHP, but whatever.
Like in therapy, I guess.
Yeah, don't should all over yourself.
Mm-hmm.
Because like saying that you should do something, you should do this, you should be this way is talking down on yourself, whether you realize it or not. Like you should say like, I am this, I am doing this, and I'm proud of myself for it, versus I should be doing this instead. That just brings yourself down.
Yeah, I use that a lot in like with school. I took a lot of time because my mental health was just like not good, and I was like, I should be ahead of where I am right now. Like I shouldn't be depressed. I should get over my eating disorder, and that just made everything harder. So finding ways, even like small ways, like catching yourself or having a friend catch you, like how I caught Angel, it definitely helps with those cognitive distortions.
Yeah, and it's a lot easier to recover whenever you're less hard on yourself. Like obviously it's very easy to be hard on yourself, but especially I think with eating disorder recovery, saying like I should be able to eat this meal, like why am I not able to do this? But instead it's saying like I had 3 bites so far and I'm proud of myself. So stating the facts versus what you quote unquote should have done or should be doing.
Right. Another one of like negative self-talk would be for me labeling myself as like good or bad depending on a situation, which is also a cognitive distortion, by the way. That one is hard, and I would say the best thing that's helped me so far is like, it sounds corny, but I literally, even at like the randomest time, I'm like, you're a person, you're not good, you're not bad, you're able to make mistakes because you're human. Because my therapist actually told me this yesterday, and I was like, damn it, Kara, you're right. But she said, don't say like you're a good person, because given the choice, if you're choosing between good and bad, you're gonna choose bad, because you can never always be good. So like putting it in a more neutral mindset is definitely a good thing.
Yeah, I think that definitely is the best route to go, especially with people that like struggle with it. It's like a easy like first step to allowing yourself to talk positively to yourself. A therapist, you know, anyone here that's listening or watching that's in therapy, you know, therapists are constantly like, practice positive self-talk, talk kindly to yourself, things like that. And I think definitely like catching yourself thinking, Kianah actually does this a lot with me. Like whenever she cancels plans, she'll say, I'm such a bad friend, I'm sorry, I'm such a bad person. And I have to like reassure her, like, no, you're fine, like I understand, like you're not feeling too great today, like we can always reschedule. So like even if you feel like something is something you did, your actions don't reflect you as a person. I think that was the hardest thing for me to learn in therapy. Like even if I do something that's bad, it doesn't make me a bad person, because people are, like you said, are allowed to make mistakes. And just because I do something good doesn't necessarily make me a good person either, because then on the flip side I can turn around and make a mistake right after doing something good. Yeah. So I like what you said, you're just a person. You're not good or bad.
Right. And I joke around a lot and say like, I'm not a person. And I joked and said that to Kara, my therapist at like the PHP that I go to. And she gave me like the weirdest look, and I'm like, why are you looking at me like that? Like it's a joke. And she's like, like, I think this is your self-hate like playing out, or like something like that. And I was like, what?
They always have to like overanalyze things. It reminds me of like whenever you were like in English in high school, did you ever have those English teachers that like the book literally says the door was blue, and the teacher will be like, why do you think the author made the door blue? Like they're just over analyzing every situation. My therapist does it too, where like I'll say one thing and then she like analyzes it so hard, and I'm like, shit, like that makes sense, but like I didn't even say it. Thinking that. Right.
It like literally makes you think, and I love that those types of like sessions where I come out and like I feel like I have work to do, but like I feel okay with the work.
Those are the best therapists. Shout out to Danielle if you're watching this. Hey Danielle.
Yeah, I'm your favorite.
Yeah, she met Kianah before when Kianah took me to a session. But yeah, it's definitely one of the best therapy sessions, you know, when you walk out and you're like, damn. Yeah. Like I can't wait for next week now, because like shit, like that was I just got called out on all my bullshit.
Yeah, it's because it's the most helpful, because who goes to therapy to be told what they want to hear?
Yeah, exactly. I feel like some people think therapy is just like you lay on a couch while they're taking notes and talking, but no, it's like tough work. Like you're working through every single thought that you're having, and you're putting connections together that you never would have otherwise put together.
Exactly, yeah. But okay, let's get into, or I don't know, I feel bossy, but do you want to get into like other like actual behaviors?
Yeah, let's talk about behavior. So, what do you think is your most destructive coping mechanism for whenever you're upset?
Right now in this current moment, I think it's like the purging, because that's actually like life-threatening. It like a few years ago, I probably would have said self-harm, but right now it's purging, and I'm doing super well with that, and I'm like patting myself on the back.
Good job.
Yeah. But yeah, so the purging is the hardest thing for me. How about you? What's yours?
Mine, I would say, is definitely like, I feel like my most maladaptive is the same thing with eating, like starving myself.
Right.
And we're not promoting any of these behaviors, by the way. We're just talking about our experiences. I want to put that out there for anyone watching.
Yeah. There's definitely, when we do this, we should definitely put like a trigger warning under it, because it's like heavy stuff. But I was, okay, there's a motorcycle
just drove by. Sorry if you heard that.
but like brief tangent on like triggers and stuff like that. I feel like there's definitely like something to be said about hearing things that make you a little bit uncomfortable, because it makes you almost stronger. Like you can see people talking about purging, but that doesn't mean that you have to. Or you can hear someone talking about starving, and that doesn't mean you have to starve.
Yeah.
But it's all about taking accountability of yourself and your actions. But that's my tangent. Continue talking.
I was gonna say, like, I feel like that's the point of recovery, where you like know that you're like so close to the light at the end of the tunnel, when you can hear something that used to trigger you so much, and now like it's just like a passing thought in your brain.
Mm-hmm.
Like for me, like even seeing scars on other people would like just automatically make me think like, wow, like that's something that I do. I should like go and do that now because I was triggered. But now like I can look at like people like on TikTok I see that have scars, and like I can think of it as like, wow, like they were struggling but they overcame that, and that's beautiful, instead of thinking it as like, I should go do that now because I'm triggered. But like thinking of it in a positive way. And I think that's the beauty of recovery, is being able to switch all those thoughts around.
Oh hell yeah. Especially for me with self-harm specifically, there's this woman, she was on Dr. Phil show a couple years ago, but like she was just like covered in scars, and I would like purposely trigger myself, you know?
Yeah.
And I like, a part of my growth and my maturity is to realize like there are things that I cannot watch and I cannot look at. But now if I look at her, I'm like, okay.
Yeah.
You know? But like at that point of like the most crucial time of like healing from self-harm stuff, that was not a thing for me.
Yeah, and you said like about purposely triggering yourself, that just reminded me. I think my actually most like destructive coping mechanism is purposely triggering myself.
Oh yeah.
Because, you know, Tumblr Finspo or Fitspo.
Oh that, yeah, like
Anna, Mia, all of that stupid like people
so
naming
bad.
it. I hate that they glorify eating disorders by giving them names. Like, why did we have to name it Ed and Mia and Anna? I hate that so much.
I went to like res with people, and they were like having fun of like naming their eating disorders, like weird names. Like I think one was like Bob,
Patricia,
like Marshall. I'm like, what the hell?
My eating disorder's name from here on out is Carol.
Yeah. And it's totally fun, I guess, to each his own. I just didn't get it. I didn't want to like personify having an eating disorder.
Yeah, because then it makes it seem like the eating disorder like is outside of you, which it isn't. It's inside of you, and it's something that you can overcome. If you personify it, it makes it like it's a whole person that you can't like
control.
Yeah, because it's a whole person. That's why I don't like that. But yeah, I would like go on Tumblr and scroll for hours through Finspo and like pro Anna posts and just be like, wow, why aren't my thighs that skinny? I should go, and like all the freaking Anna tips. Like I remember I used to have a notebook where I would write them down, like sleep with the window open, chew ice when you're hungry.
Literally, I would have like a notebook, and it would be almost like my Bible. And especially when I was in high school, when I was really struggling with like over exercising and restricting, like those like commandments were like the things that I lived by. And like looking back at it, I'm just like, wow. Like I wish I like had other mental focus, because I would have been so much happier.
Yeah, definitely. I look back on like my younger teen years, like 14, 15, and I think about how much time I spent on Tumblr, like just wishing I looked as skinny as those girls. Just to now think back on it and realize that half of those pictures were probably photoshopped.
Oh, of course. For me anyway, at the time, like I knew that, but like I would tell myself like, no, they're real and I can get there too.
Yeah. Which
is not true. I'm a fully figured black woman. I have thighs, I have hips and curves that I am trying to come to terms with, but I'm not fully there yet, honest. But
yeah, I was gonna say, like, are you proud of like your genes because they came from like your family, or are you like despising?
And that's the thing with my recovery and like being a black woman, I really wanted to like be okay with like all of the curves that comes with like the women in my family, because I like my mom, I think she's the most beautiful woman ever, and she's curvy.
Like her.
I look so much like my mom, and she's like curvy and just and she has like a style and put together, and I look at her and she's beautiful, but I look at myself and I don't see that at all. Which is another thing, of course, like recovery is a journey, and I'm definitely in that journey, but that's one of the things I really have to work on.
Yeah.
Like accepting me for me. Like my body isn't like an ornament. I think that's a book or something, but I don't know. I heard someone say that like in group the other day, and I love it, but like my body's not an ornament. It's like it does tasks for me, and I live in it, and I hug Angel in it.
Yeah, I think it was the same for me, like thinking about it, because like my dad's side of the family, obviously it's very curvy women, and my mom's side of the family, like it's very curvy women. Like
yeah, like your mom's pretty curvy too.
Yeah, like we don't have skinny rib cages. We have thick thighs. Like, you know, like there's like it took me a while to realize that like some people being thin is strictly just their genetics.
Yeah.
Like I spent so long overworking myself, like running on the treadmill until I literally wanted to pass out, trying to look like other girls who were like my ideal version of perfect, until I realized that like I'm never gonna not have a wide ass rib cage, and like that's okay because that's my genetics and I can't change genetics.
And you want to know that's crazy, or at least for like we're both women of color, but for the most part, the role models that I got, and that I don't know if you got, but like they're mostly white people.
Yeah,
like they were like the standard of beauty, especially for growing up in like the early 2000s, mid 2000s.
And skinny too. I remember Demi Lovato actually. She DM'd, I think, Mattel. Is that what makes Barbie? Mattel, is that the company?
I want to
called?
say,
I think it's
but I'm
like
not
that.
sure.
But she like DM'd them or something and said like, why are all of your Barbies the same size and same color? Like there's no skinny. I mean, well, they're all skinny.
Yeah.
She's like, there's no curvy Barbies, there's no disabled Barbies, there's no black Barbies. Like, and it's true. Like we grew up with all of these like white, skinny, blonde hair, blue-eyed role models. I think Barbie has blonde hair, blue eyes.
Yeah, and even in like cartoons, which is crazy, like skinny, or like even like the weird hourglass, like there's like their waist
is that big,
and then like voluptuous boobs and all that
and
stuff,
enormous, gigantic badonkadonk,
and like skinny thighs and a thigh gap. I'm like, how does that work?
Like Kim Kardashian's body, but like she paid for that. So so I actually wanted to ask you this: if you were a millionaire, do you think that you would enhance your body because of how much you don't really like it, or do you think that you wouldn't go that far?
Honestly, I had times where I would go on the internet and like search online how much liposuction costs and how all those things, just in the name of like changing the inevitable.
Yeah.
But now, trying to like accept my body for where it is, I don't think I would. But like literally, if you asked me like before I started this program and I became like super into like trying to live the best life that I could, hell yeah, instantly. Yeah. I think now I'd just give it to charity.
Oh, that's good. I mean,
I would like help
that's a good
foster
alternative.
kids. Yeah. Like killing all the fat on my body, or I'm giving it to charity. Like which ones? And trust me, I'm not a saint. Like this is not like.
She gives to charity all the time.
Yeah, actually no, because I don't got money like that. But I try. Like like the store, you're like, do you want to round up? I'm like, sure.
You want to round up? Sure. Why not?
Why not?
But for me, I think. I don't know, because I did the same thing. I used to always look up how much liposuction costs, and I would watch like My 600-Pound Life, and for some reason I saw myself as big as the people on My 600-Pound Life.
That would be my excuse to like purge or like restrict, because if I end up like them, then
exactly, like I wouldn't know what to do with myself. And not saying that there's anything wrong with being overweight. I mean, obviously it becomes a problem when you're 600 pounds, because that's not healthy for any body type,
and you can't like move and walk around.
Yeah.
And that's what, and the crazy thing is, like, that's such an extreme, but that's what my brain told me. Like, if I don't control the food around me, then I'm gonna end up 600 pounds, which is not a thing. There's like steps in between that would lead to that. You
like
know?
my brain used to be like, if you don't exercise after this meal, you will wake up and be on My 600-Pound Life. Like that is such an illogical statement. Mm-hmm. And like I knew that in the back of my head, but like I just convinced myself that if I didn't do all of these like behaviors that my eating disorder wanted me to do, that I would just wake up and be like big, and I didn't want that. I was like so terrified of that. Like even just gaining like a pound, like I would freak out.
Yeah, when I was like heavy into like my restriction phase, if I looked at myself right now, I would not really, I wouldn't like myself, because I never told myself I would be over X amount of pounds, and I am. But that's when life was like I wasn't heavily focused on restricting and all that stuff. But anyway, but now I'm starting to feel more comfortable in it, you know? Like I'm almost liking my boobs.
Oh, period.
I can't. It's weird. I can't be super nice to myself. I can't say like I like my boobs. I can like almost be nice, you know.
Yeah. So we're gonna take a break. You guys are gonna hear the cute little advertisement that we recorded.
Yeah, I can't speak English, so that's what that was.
Yeah, you're gonna hear a cute little advertisement, and then we will be back to talk about our self-love journey.
Yes.
And we're back.
Well, over the break, it was a longer break. You probably couldn't tell because
It was just
it's paused.
Yeah, we paused it for the break, but it was definitely a longer break than we took last time.
Yep, we were talking about it started like business, and then we just got on shitting.
How did we get from business to shitting is what I want to know. We talked about shit in our last episode too. We should just...
It's never mind. It's not Break the Stigma podcast. It's called Let's Talk About Shit podcast. Literal, actual...
Literal shit and metaphorical shit.
True. Hey.
Shit talking.
Never mind.
With your mouths and your bottom.
Oh my god. But anyway, back to the actual topic.
Yeah.
So we talked about our relationship with self-love and how right now we're currently struggling with not self-love. I guess
not loving ourselves.
Yeah, more of like on the like self-hate, self-loathing side of things, and how we're trying and we're working towards that ultimate goal of like self-love. So we came up with this exercise. We're gonna say 3 things that we like about ourselves. And this is uncomfortable, but it's something good to say out loud. And now we're accountable because y'all are gonna hear it.
Yeah, it's like doing positive affirmations. Like I think positive affirmations are great, but like it's a lot different when you say them out loud versus just like reading them to yourself.
Yeah.
So it's the same thing here. But anyway, do you want to start?
I wanted you to say. That's why I like.
All right, fine, I'll start.
Yeah,
I like my dimples.
they're super cute.
Thank you. I like that I'm a very hard worker. I get my shit done, and and I like shit.
See, it's hard. It's uncomfy.
I like.
Do you want to phone a friend?
Yeah, can I phone a friend?
Yes.
What do you like about me? It sounds so like.
What do you like about me?
Please tell me all of it. Inflate my ego.
Yeah, I'll do like a personality thing and a hair or another physical. I like your
My
hair.
Yeah, I do like my hair. I guess.
It's awesome. It's naturally red and
Yeah.
it's gorgeous. But inside, you're very, you're very like kind and nurturing to people that you really care about, and like your people are definitely your people. Like you can tell how much you love someone by just being around you.
I'm gonna cry. That was so sweet.
Oh.
Well, now it's your turn.
My turn. Okay. I love how I'm like sweating because I'm anxious and I'm wearing a white shirt.
I'm wearing a black shirt, so it makes it worse than I'm hot.
Yep. But I guess 3 things. I love my smile. I have a fun little smile, or a big smile because I got a big mouth. But I like that I treat everyone with kindness, even assholes. And
It's always the third one.
I know, right? I like how smart I sound sometimes, Like I don't know why I'm saying Well, I guess I'm talking to you.
I do know.
Yeah, you do know.
Yeah.
I like learning about new words to say and incorporate in like my sentences because I feel smarter.
I think I like what I like about you. What I like about you. Is that how the song goes?
I don't know.
Like
all I'm getting is like all I'm hearing from the songs like keep on listening, whispering in my ear, tell me all the things that I want to hear because it's true.
That's what I like about you. That's how it goes. Okay.
That's it. Yep. That's how we do it.
Yeah. Anyway, what I like about now that's the only thing that's playing in my
I know
head.
it's stuck in my head now.
Is how open and honest you are about your struggles. Like it takes a lot of courage to like say I need to get help and like take that step forward to do it. And you inspire me and I love you.
Angel, I told myself I wasn't gonna cry. I love you too.
Kim, there's people that are dying.
It's gone.
Are you
Oh my god, I'm gonna cry. My hearing's gone. Kim, there's people that are dying.
Honestly, once someone sees me, it's hard for them not to know that I'm like, I have struggled with mental
The
illness.
Sonic girl, for
Yeah,
example.
exactly.
If you listen to the last episode, you know.
Yeah, you know. But just like people like, I've gotten like weird things. I was asked if I was like in an African tribe because of my scars, like were they like tribal marks?
Oh. I mean, that's a cool way to look at them, I guess.
I guess. But then he like kept on insisting that I was a part of a tribe, and he asked me like what tribe it was, and I was working at Six Flags at the time, and I'm like,
Oh, God. Just
I literally
chatting it up.
and I had control of like how many times the ride went around. I swear I cut this kid's ride off because he was the only one on the ride, and I wanted this guy gone. Like, stop asking me questions. I gave you your answer.
Yeah.
But back to self-love, I want to say this. I want to say that it's definitely been like I don't remember really like a time that I really truly liked myself. So it's definitely going to be like a long journey to get to even like and then love. But I just want to hold myself like how I would hold like little me. That's what I would suggest for people who are dealing with that.
I think a really good way to start off the journey of self-love, I did this while I was in res, is writing a letter to your younger self.
Yeah, that
reflecting on it that way. It's like a really emotional project, and like reading it out loud, like as if like you're talking to your younger self. Because if you think about it, all the things that we say badly about ourselves, like I'm fat, I'm stupid, I'm this, I'm that, you wouldn't say that to a 4-year-old. Like you wouldn't, like if your 4-year-old self is standing in front of you, you wouldn't be like, you're stupid, you're fat, you're all this negative things. You would tell that kid how great they are to lift them up. So I think that that's a really great exercise to do if you're feeling a lot of like self-hatred, is to practice cradling your younger self, like you said.
Yeah. I had to do that in one of the rises that I went to. And yeah, that was a really painful, and I don't think I was at the point in my life where I could like fully get into like that.
Yeah.
Because I wasn't ready to start the path of healing, and like, or no, I was ready to heal, but I wasn't ready to do the hard work that goes along with healing.
Yeah, exactly. And I think that's definitely the first step too, is like being like knowing that it's gonna be a lot of work and how draining it's gonna be, but still being ready for it.
Yeah, and right now I'm definitely doing the hard work and crying a lot. That sounds so sad, like I'm crying a lot, but like honestly, I'm the type of person that like can't cry in front of people, and I like try to hold it in too much. So saying out loud that I'm even crying is something huge. It sounds little, but it's huge.
Yeah, I mean, I'm proud of you for admitting that, because everyone has emotions and everyone cries.
Everybody hurts.
And everybody just naming a bunch of songs.
Yeah. There's this person at the program that I go to, D, you're amazing. But she does this all the time. Like she'll say a sentence. This is all her. No one's talking. And then after she says the sentence, she starts to sing.
So like as in we're in High School Musical.
Yeah.
Like just break out into song.
Yeah. Like she'll come up with any song that fits that sentence, and
that sounds like a fun game to play.
It's a game actually.
Oh yeah.
It is fun.
Like
and
song association.
Yeah. Exactly.
How do you think you're doing in your, like, if you could place yourself on like a timeline, do you think you're closer to square one, or are you closer to, like, where would you place yourself on the recovery scale?
That's a crazy question, because I was talking to my dad and I was thinking about it yesterday. But like I am like picturing myself when I first started back in 2017 is when I really started treatment. To now, there's huge differences.
Do you think you're close to the light at the end of the tunnel, or do you think there's still a lot of treading to do?
Symptom wise, yes, I'm close. But then like the things that come underneath is like everyone in this audience, and like even if you don't know, it's good that we're even talking about this. There's a lot. It's not just like food and like body image. It's about trauma and just negative emotions, and like even for me, it's like I have trouble caring about myself and my safety and my well-being. So all those things it's gonna take more time, but symptom-wise, I'm really fighting those urges, which is exhausting.
Yeah.
Because it's like you're fighting your brain.
Yeah, exactly. And it's like your brain's just doing like backflips in your head all the time, and like it's shouting one thing and you're trying to shout back at it the opposite, and so it's just like you're fighting with yourself, and it's definitely exhausting.
Yeah. But I'm proud of. Ew, I'm being nice to myself. I'm proud of myself.
I'm proud of myself too.
Yes.
Everyone in the audience right now, whether you're watching, listening, tell yourself right now that you're proud of yourself, no matter if you just got out of a hard day of work and you're listening to this, whether you've been laying in bed all day. Tell yourself that you are proud of yourself, because you should be, regardless of what you have accomplished or have not accomplished.
Because there's this DBT thing. You're doing the best that you can, and you can keep going. And doing your best right now may be taking a shower, maybe changing your clothes, maybe brushing your teeth. And even those things that seem little are so huge because you weren't doing them before. So that's...
Yeah. And I think one of the big, like, huge stigmas, people like with depression, I know with me, like, I personally struggled with it. Like, it's really... like, people that don't have it wouldn't understand, but like it's genuinely hard to just do little things like shower and brush your teeth. Like, people don't genuinely understand like why. I don't even understand why, but like I genuinely would like have to force myself to take a shower.
Yeah.
Like, now that I'm at the point where like I'm good and like I take my showers and I'm fine, but there was definitely a point where like I was forcing myself and like telling myself like you need to get your ass out of bed and get in the shower right now. And it's just like, so even if you're at that point in your life right now, I'm proud of you if you got up out of bed and took a shower today. And if you didn't, there's always tomorrow. Try again tomorrow. Recovery isn't linear. There's gonna be good days, there's gonna be bad days.
There's gonna be some really shitty days, and there's gonna be some really good days, but you never know unless you find the next day.
So, you know, like my slogan for Sweet and Sour Miracles, don't give up before you glow up.
Yes.
Because you're gonna, even if you don't believe it
on the back
now,
of this shirt.
it is on the back of that shirt. Even if you don't believe it, you're gonna recover at some point, whether it be in a month or whether it be in 10 years. But there's going to be a point where you look back at yourself struggling and be like, damn, I'm glad that I chose to stay. And I'm so happy that all of you watching are here on this earth today, because you deserve to be here and your existence is irreplaceable in this world.
Yes. Yeah. That, and even if you don't believe it, just try to say that to yourself, because when I'm in those really dark places, I don't believe it. But then I think about all the things that I can do in the future that will be, the world will be deprived of. And that might sound conceited, but hey, in these moments, wow,
Instances and moments.
Yeah. I'm doing great with English, man. In those moments, you know, be selfish, be conceited.
Yeah.
You're amazing, you're a badass person. I am amazing, I'm a badass person.
There you go. Yeah, that's the thing. And two, with affirmations, like a lot of them are like, you are beautiful, you are amazing. Like, try using it like as I statements instead, because it makes it more personal for yourself. And say it out loud. Don't just read it like, I'm amazing, I'm beautiful. Say it to yourself and say it proud, like you mean it.
Say it loud, say it proud. Also, say it in the mirror.
Yeah,
that's also
that too.
An effective one.
I've seen a lot of people that like they have Post-its and they write it on their mirror, especially for people that struggle with body dysmorphia.
I hope not.
Yeah, but I've seen people like that struggle a lot with self-image, like put Post-its on their mirror like to cover up the areas of their self that they don't want to see. So like the midsection of the mirror, if you don't like your stomach or if you don't like your face, put it over like the top section of the mirror, and like with only affirmations. So instead of looking at yourself and judging yourself, you're seeing the positive affirmations and thinking those. So with that being said, we're gonna sign off. Any final thoughts?
No, I'm glad that you tuned in for another episode of
For Sigma Podcast. And we will see you guys next time. Thank you so much. Bye bye.